Hey, what's up, everybody? Just came out here to relax, chill out, escape the madness out there. It's almost like feels like I'm in another dimension. So I like to you know play with my thoughts. So today I just wanted to talk about you know relationships since um, it's something that has been very interesting to me, and my views on them have evolved as I grew. And relationships with the opposite sex, that is. And well, growing up I was always very shy, so but I never really I never really had a problem attracting the opposite sex. They always used to come to talk to me, that kind of stuff. But I was always very shy, and not only that, but it's not that I was just shy. It's just that I just never saw it as something that had much meaning. I didn't have much friends really. I had more acquaintances, and I just find that anytime I had any opportunities to become intimate, I would always. It just always. First of all, the person always never seemed to be of substance, and I I always used to worry about stuff like STDs and pregnancy and all of that, and I just find that, and I always found myself not being able to relate to how people view sex and relationships, because it just seemed something like it didn't seem like people I would do it for me, but just to prove that I'm somebody, or I'm and I never felt the need to do that. And I just find that because the society is so over sexualized, um, because that's all you take in. Everybody's listening to the music that talks about sex, that glorifies sex, and people always, glorify, wealth and money. So it's natural for people to gravitate to that. But I was never really interested in proving myself to people. And I always felt that if I wanted to be with somebody, it would have to be somebody who actually I could relate to. So even just normal friends, I find I couldn't. I didn't have many. I mean, it all depends on what you define as friends. I mean, if you go to an event with somebody and you call that person your friend, well, I had friends, but my definition of a friend is somebody who you could talk to on about anything, and you could talk to about them about your problems, and you all could have some type of mutually beneficial relationships. But a lot of people I know, it just seems to be a one-sided thing, and there doesn't seem to be any depth to it. You know what I mean? And I just find that while I had a lot of women approaching me, at least in the younger stage, I really didn't know what to do, how to respond to it, because I was trying to understand life myself, and of course female nature, which was a bit confusing to me, because as I grew and I started actually approaching them, I realized they didn't seem as interested in me as I was in them, which was confusing. And later on I started to realize that I needed to be more confident in myself and my purpose, and naturally those that were interested would actually, be more available. Because there was a period in time where I would try to come out of my shell and try to talk to people, and make friends. But it makes no sense trying to accommodate people, trying to make friends with people who do not share, your, or would not accommodate your perspectives or your views and likes and dislikes. And I always would be, I was always kind of like that, like kind of to myself and not really bothered by what other people thought of me. But I was still kind of yearning for attention and that type of companionship. But as I grew up, I embraced solitude a lot more, and I needed, and it became more about me and what I wanted and my purpose, because I learned that everybody's looking to see what's out there, but when the experiences that I had in trying to experiment and socialize and all of that, I realized there's really nothing out there. I've come to the conclusion, when people go to clubs and they're partying and they're doing all these things that to me are detrimental to one's life, I just find that it tends to be very, these people suffer from a lack of self-esteem, and just they just seem to be trying to escape their problems, more or less. And don't get me wrong, I like sex just as much as the next person, but and I've probably been in situations that are too embarrassing to speak on this live because of that. But still, I never, all my experiences, all I remember is worrying about how it would affect my life, because it doesn't really do anything for you. It doesn't really bring any real value to your life, especially, well, that is if the person you're with doesn't have any substance, or doesn't, or just the relationship is based purely on the carnal aspect of it. But I just found that I needed to focus on myself, because a lot of times I was just doing things to try to fit in, and